everyone. Welcome back to the Platform Podcast, Great Plains region. Thanks for joining. I have another long list of performers that want to get recognized, get their names out there. Some repeat offenders, but also some new guys. But first, I want to start off with the game of the week that I went to. I've been looking forward to this game for a really long time. It is Platte County, Missouri, defending 5A champions. Came to Topeka to play Washburn Rural. Washburn Rural came into the game at 2-0. Platte County is mostly Epic 7 Midwest guys, and I've been a huge fan of them. And I do want to give a shout out to their coach, Epic 7 Midwest coach Wayne Baskerville. He is absolutely one of the top helpers of Coach Buckets. Always there to lend a hand. Always giving access to his players for pictures and just to hang out with them at games at 707 tournaments. So I want to say Coach Wayne Baskerville from Platte County, and also Epic 7 Midwest, wonderful guy. So all these guys are Epic 7 Midwest guys. Really proud of them. I was sitting on Washburn Rural side, and I happened to be cheering for Platte County. And after a while, people started noticing that I knew a lot of their players, and everything that I was saying was going to come true. Kept telling them Stevens is going to break out, and Rocco is going to break out here. So really had a great time there. And they won. Platte County won 60-28. So I want to go through the standout players. We'll start off with 2026 quarterback Rocco Marriott. He is a James Madison commit. He had 5 touchdown passes, and he rushed for 3 more. And he also rushed for a 2-point conversion. He was just surgical in his passing game. And when he ran the ball, he really overpowered. He used a stiff arm just to brush him off. I mean, it was like he wasn't even there. I mean, he used a stiff arm beautifully. Really looking forward to watching him at James Madison. So his numbers were 28 of 35 for 410 yards and 5 touchdown passes. He also rushed the ball 11 times for 127 yards and 3 more touchdowns. And then he had that 2-point conversion that he ran for also. So in the game, Adam Geisler, who was one of my favorite running backs in the entire nation, I really like Adam. He had a AC joint and a shoulder sprain, so he had to sit out this game. So they moved Trey Baskerville to he plays wide receiver, but they moved him to the backfield, and Trey showed why he is one of the most versatile athletes in the Midwest. Went in there at the running back position and they didn't miss a beat. So with Geisler missing, Baskerville took over for running back duties. He combined rushing and receiving for over 150 yards. He had a 30-yard touchdown run. He consistently broke big plays on the edge. He would get the corner, and he would get off tackle. Just one of the most versatile athletes in the entire Midwest. Then we go to 2026 Ty Christopher. Christopher made an impact, felt on offense and special teams. He caught 4 passes for over 75 yards. A lot of his catches were to set up Platte County in really good field position. Really timely, good catches. Was there kickoff returns? He had a 99-yarder called back on a penalty, but his explosiveness really shined Friday night. He currently holds offers from Arkansas State, Truman State, Benedictine, and Sioux Falls. I fully expect him to get a lot more by the end of the year. Then we go to tight end Brooks Hall. Brooks Hall is a South Dakota commit. He was Marriott's safety valve on third downs. He finished with 7 receptions for 75 receiving yards and a touchdown. He's got wide receiver level speed at the tight end position. To me, he projects as a hybrid tight end. He will do marvelous at South Dakota. Then we go to Jack Oots. Jack Oots is a KU commit, 6'5", 225-pound tight end, and he really showed his versatility He lined up. He's a tight end. He lined up outside for a lot of the night, and he secured a lot of third down catches, and he added a highlight reel touchdown to his night. Jayhawk fans should really be excited for the potential for him coming to KU. Really good tight end. Then we have my player of the game. He is South Dakota State commit Braden Stevens. Really like Braden. You've heard me talk about him on the podcast many times. To me, he is the best route runner in the state of Missouri and probably in the entire Midwest. He's a wonderful route runner. He adjusts his routes in the zone. He finds an open spot, sits down, and he makes the grab. He dominated with 189 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, I think he's the best route runner in Missouri. He continually got separation because of his impressive route running skills. He can cut on a dime, explodes out of the breaks. Just a really good guy. His season totals through 4 games are 24 receptions for 405 yards and 6 touchdowns. This week he did walk away with an offer to West Virginia. So really happy for Braden. Again, my player of the game. Then we go to 2027 linebacker Carlos Baskerville. He's a younger brother of Trey. He was disruptive all night. He racked up 2 sacks and 2 pass breakups, and he was in the backfield hurrying the quarterback all night. Really active linebacker. Really good in pass defense. His awareness, he has really good awareness, and it's obvious he's gotten some good coaching from Coach Wayne Baskerville. He's a prospect. Carlos is. His name isn't nationally right now, but it will be at the linebacker position. He has that size that will be a national recruit at the linebacker position. So really looking forward to his future as a national recruit because as a 2027, it's coming. So then we go to Jordan Moore. He's a 2027 cornerback, and he was targeted 3 times. He had 2 interceptions, and he made 2 tackles. So those are all the Platte County guys. Really proud of them. I'm really looking forward to their future, watching them play college. Then I want to go over to the Washburn rural side. I've talked about him before. John Hoytel, he's their quarterback. 2026, he had he had 4 touchdown passes. He's really started to impress me with his mobility and his keeping his eyes downfield when he's flush from the pocket. He's almost a better quarterback when he's flush from the pocket than he is in the pocket. That's why I don't know why they don't roll the pocket more with him, because he's really good on the move. But when you pressure him, that's when he's the best. So John Hoytel, he's Washburn Rural's quarterback, showed out really good. So that's my write-up for the game that I went to. So now we want to move on to standouts from across the Great Plains region, and again I'll be stepping outside the Great Plains region to name some guys. So we'll start off with Kansas. I have Noah Kobacheski. He is a tight end from 2026. He's from Seaman. I first saw him at KU Mega Camp. He had 3 receptions and 98 yards, and he had a 73-yard touchdown reception. Then we go to Rain Ilian. He's a 2027 quarterback out of Maize South. I saw him at K-State Mega Camp. For the week, he's a 23 of 35 for 214 yards passing, and he had 39 yards rushing, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 2-point conversion. For the season now, he's 81 of 125. So he's at 70% completion rate. He has 960 yards passing, which leads the state of Kansas, and he has 8 touchdown passes. Again, that's 2027, so he's a junior that is leading the state of Kansas in passing. Next, we want to go to a guy I've mentioned on here many times before, 2028 Cam Akins. He's a cornerback out of Wichita East, and saw him with Wichita Wheat 7-on-7. He was targeted 11 times this season, and he has allowed 0 catches on him. He does have 4 tackles and 3 pass breakups. Then we go to Liam Leedstrom. out of 2027, he is a 6'1", 200-pound linebacker out of Girard, and he has offers from Baker, Washburn, and McPherson. And the week 3 game, he had 13 tackles and 1 pass breakup. So again, that's in 3 weeks. So Kansas, we've only played 3 weeks so far. So all these season-long numbers, they're just through 3 games. So 2027, Cordell Quicks Johnson, another repeat offender. He's from Wichita Northwest. Again, Wichita Wheat. They beat Junction City, and which is a pretty big win for them. But Wichita Northwest is a wonderful team this year. Cordell finished with 5 tackles with 3 pass breakups. So for the season, he has 12 tackles, 1 interception, and he is a track guy, so he's a return man. He has 166 yards in returns. Then we move over to Salina South, where we have 2027 Maddox Girard, linebacker, and he played against Derby. And again, you've heard me talk about Derby, one of the best teams in the entire state. Against Derby, these are impressive numbers for Maddox Girard. He had 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, and 1 pass breakup. So a really good game out of Maddox Girard out of Salinas South. He's a 2027. Then we have 2026 Hunter Garza out of Hugoton, running back. He had 8 carries, 209 yards, which is 26 yards per carry. And he had 5 touchdowns, and they won. So Hugoton beat Lakin 62-7. So good job, Hunter Garza out of Hugoton. Next we go to 2026 Blake J. He's a quarterback out of Mill Valley. Really excellent quarterback. Big time team. Mill Valley is state champions. They're in the state championship game where they win it every year. They beat Shawnee Mission East 56-21. They are a running team. Blake J runs that offense perfectly. He was 6 of 9 for passing for 94 yards and 1 passing touchdown, but he had 5 rushing touchdowns. Then we go to Junction City, who I mentioned took the loss, but they are a really good team because they have a really good quarterback, Conrad Gomez. I know him from Topeka Most Wanted, 7-7. For the season, he has 606 passing yards and 10 touchdown passes. Conrad Gomez out of Junction City, quarterback. Next we have 2027 Ashton Malm. He is a Kansas Colt. You've heard me talk about him many times before. He's out of McPherson. He's having an amazing season. McPherson won 42-12 over number 5 ranked Chanute. In the game this last week, Ashton had a stat line of 5 receptions, 218 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's that Kansas Colts coming through big time there. And again, he's having a wonderful year. He'll probably be all state. He should be. But, yep. 2027 Joseph Mortensen. He's a cornerback out of Manhattan. He had 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups, and their 10-8 win over Hayes. That was a real huge game. That's the game I would have went to if I hadn't gone to Platte County versus Washburn Rural. But so Joseph Mortensen from Manhattan, cornerback. He had 7 tackles, 2 pass breakups. Next we go to Kansas's top rusher in the entire state, 2026, Callan Arndt. You've heard me talk about him. St. Thomas Aquinas. He is the top running back in Kansas. And for the game, he had 237 yards with 3 touchdowns. Now, for the season, in 3 games, he has 962 yards in 3 games. Last season, he had 2,000 yards, so he should, if he stays healthy, he'll crush 2,000 yards. So, again, for the season, in 3 games, he has 962 yards. Next, we go to 2026 Parker Schwartz. He's a running back linebacker out of Prairie View High School. He's 6'2", 215 running back. He had 25 carries for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also had an interception and 10 tackles in their 42-5 win over Wellsville, who was number 4 in the state. Career-wise, Parker has over 5,000 yards. So good job, Parker. He's a Prairie View High School running back. Next we go to 2026 Ryland Crowell out of he's a running back linebacker out of Emporia. They beat Coffeyville 50-0 this weekend, and he also ended up with a Butler offer. He had 15 carries, 163 yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, and that was all in 3 quarters. So in 3 quarters, Rylan Crowell out of Emporia had 15 carries, 163 yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass breakup in 3 quarters. Connor Thatcher, 2026 quarterback out of Valley Center. I really can't wait to watch this guy. He's 6'3", 210 quarterback. They beat Mays South 35-14. His night numbers were 17 of 18 for 291 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now for the season, he's 46 of 63. He has 733 yards, which ranks number 2 in the state, and 7 passing touchdowns and 4 rushing touchdowns. So that's Connor Thatcher out of Valley Center. Next, we move to the Topeka area, another top city most wanted. He's a wide receiver out of Highland Park, Jermaine Savage. 26, he is a son of Jermaine Savage, who was a huge player in Topeka. In his last game, he had 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Next, we go to 2027 Jason Rush out of Olathe North. He's a huge track guy, and he's their Olathe North return specialist. Through 3 games, he has 6 catches for 58 yards, 208 yards, and a touchdown return. 208 yards and a touchdown on returns. Next, we go to a guy we've talked about many times on here, the Kansas Colts quarterback, 2028 Holden Ferrales, quarterback out of Sterling. He had 208 all-purpose yards, rushing TDs of 19 yards and 39 yards, and he also had 3 passing touchdowns of 20 yards, 15 yards, and 4 yards. He also had an interception on defense, and that was only in 3 quarters. So good job, Holden. 2026 Kason Parsons. He's from Osage City. He's a cornerback, and they won 48-14. And when they beat Wabaunsee this weekend, he was 15 of 20 for 288 yards, 3 touchdown passes. He had 14 carries for 150 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Then he also had 3 tackles and 1 interception on defense. Next, we go to Ottawa's quarterback, Hayden Hull. He's a 2026. They won 40-7, and he was 10 of 14 for 152 yards with 3 passing touchdowns, and he also had 2 rushing touchdowns. Then we go to a big-time repeat offender on the platform, 2026 Braden Pappas. He's a running back out of Goddard Eisenhower. They won, and he only played 3 quarters because they beat him pretty bad. In 3 quarters, Braden had 23 carries for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns. Next, we go to Hayes, where we have 2026 Zane Viegra, and he's their quarterback. Again, he's got Hayes running on all cylinders. He's a really good quarterback, and Hayes has a really good team this year. For the season, Zane is 26 of 60 for 234 yards and 1 touchdown. He has 41 rushes for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. He's a dual threat quarterback, and he runs that offense really smart. He's definitely a quarterback that you want to. He's a 2026 quarterback that you want to start looking at. Definitely. That's Zane Viegra out of Hayes, Kansas. So next we go to a commit, KU commit. Everybody familiar with him, but I wanted to get him mentioned on here because Hayes played Manhattan, and the final score was 10-8. In 2026, J.J. Dunnigan, cornerback out of Manhattan, had an 87-yard touchdown return that served as a game winner, but he also blocked a field goal, so that won them the game. 10-8 was the final, but he blocked a field goal and won the game for Manhattan. So I've also had an interview with him on the platform. So if you go to the platform and look up articles, you'll see an interview I had with him. Really good interview. Really good guy. All right, then we go to guy we had on last week, 2027 Jacob Lockett, Blue Valley wide receiver. He's one of my favorite players on one of my favorite teams. He had 4 catches for 120 yards and 1 touchdown. Then we go to 2028 Wyatt Powell. He's from Wichita West. He's a young defensive. He is the quarterback of their defense from the linebacker position. But again, he's a 2028. I really like his leadership skills already. As a 2028, he shows amazing leadership and he knows the concepts of the defense. He likes to get in the backfield and cause havoc back there. He's a 2028 linebacker for Wichita West, but he is going to make a lot of noise. For a sophomore to be a leader like that says something about him. So he had 3 tackles, 2 quarterback hurries, and 1 interception in their game. Then we go to 2027 Cooper Altamont out of Great Bend, Kansas. He's a do-everything. He had 13 receptions for 166 yards and a touchdown, but he also had 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. Then we go to 2026 Cooper Revis out of Salina Central. He's a running back. Salina Central is a running back factory, so if you're the running back there, then you're good. He had 8 carries for 97 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then we go to 2028 Chasen Cosner out of Holcomb. He's a 2028 that I'm hoping to see in 7-on-7 because he really looks explosive. So I want to get him on 7-on-7 and get him some exposure. He had 13 carries for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, that's Chasen Costner out of Holcomb. Then we go to a repeat offender on here, 2026 Ethan Prescott. He's out of Free State, Lawrence Free State, and he's a safety. He is a Sharp Performance guy. He trains at Sharp Performance. They won 49-27 over Shawnee Mission West. He had 15 tackles, 9 solo and 6 assisted. Then he had 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass breakup, and he also had a catch for 15 yards. Again, he plays for Sharp Performance, and they always train the best of the best. So, Ethan Prescott out of Lawrence Free State. Next, we got a 2026 Cade Mitchell. Extremely, he's on almost all my podcasts because he's that good. He's a running back and a return specialist. You need to get him on your list, coaches. He plays for the number 2 ranked Hayden in 3A. They're the number 2 ranked team in the state. He's a do-it-all player. In Friday's game, he had 7 carries for 150 yards, 1 touchdown in their win versus Bishop Ward. Again, get him on your list, guys. I'm telling you. Another guy you want to get on your list is another guy I mentioned many times on the show. 2026 William Voos out of Sabetha. He's a running back. He's a hidden gem, extremely hidden gem. You need to find him. He had 25 carries for 152 yards and 1 touchdown. William Voos out of Sabetha. I'm telling you, go find him. Go look him up, and you'll get him an offer. I promise you. Next, we want to go to Jeff West, where we have the Schwinn brothers. Brody is their 2027 wide receiver. He had 7 receptions for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Brooks is a 2029 quarterback. He rushed the ball for 15 times for 54 yards and a touchdown. Then he threw the ball 13 of 26 for 216 yards and those 3 touchdowns. So good job, the Schwinn brothers down in Jeff West. I grew up just right there by Jeff West, so they're doing me proud. Next, I want to go to the team I've talked about before on the last broadcast. It's KC Washington. Again, KC Washington, 10 or 12 years had a hard time even finding kids to go out. Now they've got these kids believing, and I just want to say good job to the coaches there of getting the players, getting the community, and getting everybody involved. So all these players are from KC Washington. 2026 Jalen Washington. He's a cornerback. He had 4 tackles, 2 solo and 2 assisted. He has 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 67-yard return on an interception last weekend. Also last weekend, 2028, Davian Hazlett. He's a DN. He had 8 tackles, 2 solo, and 6 assists. He had 5 tackles for loss. 5 tackles for loss. That's pretty good. 2 sacks and 2 quarterback hurries. Then we have Cameron Fields. He's our wide receiver and their running back. He's a 2027. He had 7 catches for 2 touchdowns, and he rushed the ball 4 times for 67 yards and a touchdown. He also had 267 yards with 3 touchdowns for the entire game. 7 receptions for 2 touchdowns, and he rushed the ball 67 yards and a touchdown. So 267 yards and 3 touchdowns for Cameron Fields. So good job. Now their quarterback, I saw their quarterback at KC Varsity Combine and was really impressed with him this last spring. 2026 Savion Stone, he's a quarterback. Passing in last week's game is 15 of 16 for 323 yards and 4 touchdown passes. He also rushed the ball 5 times for 68 yards and a touchdown. So good job. So those are all KC Washington. Really, really proud of those guys. Then we want to come back to Topeka for 2027 Dallas Owens. He's out of Shawnee Heights, and his 3-game stat line is he has 21 receptions. He has 238 yards with 2 touchdowns. And then on defense, he has 1 interception, 6 tackles, 1 blocked field goal, and 4 kickoff returns for totaling 86 yards. So that's Dallas Owens out of Shawnee Heights. He's 2027. So get him on your list. And then that's all I got from Kansas. So want to go to more of the Great Plains regions. And we'll start off in Iowa, where we have a repeat offender. He plays for the Savages. Iowa Savages, 7-on-7 out of Cedar Falls. He's 2028 Carson Gary. Through 4 games, he has 5 carries, 130 yards, and 15 receptions for 162 yards. Really check his huddle video. He's a 2028. He really has a lot of potential. So what I want you to do is I want you to go check out his huddle video. Really impressive. Carson Gary out of Cedar Falls, Iowa. Then we want to go to a guy I mentioned last week, but he had another really good game. One of my top 5 quarterbacks that I've ever met. Really love this guy. 2027 Reese Wheeler. He's a quarterback out of Iowa City West. Again, I found him as 7-on-7 at a 14U tournament. He led Iowa City West to a 31-14 win. There are only 3 teams left undefeated in 5A, and Iowa City West is one of them, thanks to him. For the game, he had 295 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he is the number 2 quarterback in Iowa passing yards in 5A. So, really proud of Reese. Then we go down to Arkansas. We have 2026 Sean Swinson. He's a wide receiver cornerback out of Greenland High School. On offense, he has 6 catches for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 80 return yards. That was this week. So this week he had 6 catches, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, and 80 return yards. So for the season, he has 19 catches, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 460 all-purpose yards. Also on the season, on defense, he has 20 tackles with 5 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. Sean Swinson, 2026, out of Greenland, Arkansas. Then we go to South Dakota. He's mentioned him on this show many times. Bowers Elite, 7-on-7. He's 2027. Brody Schaefer, quarterback out of Lincoln High School. He was this last week. He was 17 of 28 for 278 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Then he also ran the ball 17 times for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then we move over to Colorado, where we have Zeke Andrews. He's a 2026 quarterback out of Ralston Valley. They won 41-21 over Thunder Ridge. For the game, he was 18 of 22 for 313 yards with 4 touchdown passes. He also added 70 rushing yards. Ralston Valley I'm familiar with because I'm really good friends with Logan Madden. He's their quarterback at Washburn University. He went to Ralston Valley, so they continue to pump out quarterbacks up there at Ralston Valley. So you have Zeke Andrews. He's a 2026 quarterback. Then we go to a guy I mentioned last week. He's a 2026 Landon Drum out of Arapahoe High School. He's a 3-star wide receiver, and he is committed to Cal Poly. For the week, he had 10 catches for 215 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is the #1 receiver in yards in Colorado. He also has a 132 yards per game average. I think I mentioned him last week. So another guy I mentioned, 2027, Nikro Mavramat. He's a Cherokee Trail High School. He is absolute controlled chaos. He plays angry. He's a junior that's his recruitment is going to explode, especially if you go watch his huddle video. He plays so angry, but it's controlled. It's controlled chaos. Really, really, really impressed with Nico. He had 7 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass breakup in their game last week. Also, 2026 Nathan Rodriguez out of Dakota Ridge High School. They are 4-0 after they won over Pomona. He's a wide receiver, and he had 3 catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nathan Rodriguez out of Dakota Ridge. Then I'm going to go to 2026 Ducks 7-on-7. Again, one of my all-time favorite 7-on-7 programs out there in the Denver area. Benjamin Jack Hodge. He goes to Thomas Jefferson High School. He is a 6'4", 230 tight end, moves like a gazelle, and he had 5 catches for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 2-point conversion. Hodge is going to be a major tight end recruit, one of the top in the nation. So then we go to Utah, 2027 Adrian Sanchez out of Orem High School. He is a kicker. He trains at the Coles Kicking Academy, and their 45-3 win versus Wasatch. He was 6 of 6 on point afters, 1 for 1 on field goals, and he had 2 touchbacks. So that's Adrian Sanchez out of Orem High School in Utah. He's 2027, and he's a Coles kicker, so you better get in on him. So then we go down to Oklahoma, where we have the quarterback of one of the best teams in the nation, 2026 Carson Kirby. He's a quarterback for Bixby, one of the best teams in the nation. Through 3 games, Carson has 47 of 62 for 75% completion rate, 656 yards for 8 touchdown passes. He also has 5 carries for 50 yards and a rushing touchdown. Bixby is one of the national powerhouse, and he's their leader, Carson Kirby. Arizona, we have Eli Manzanares. He's a 2026 quarterback out of North Phoenix. For the game, he had 240 yards, 3 touchdown passes. And for the season, Eli has 802 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Then we want to come back up to the Midwest. We'll go to Indiana, where we got Jaden Gilbert, 2027. He's an athlete out of Bedford North Lawrence High School. For the game, he had 3 runs for 54 yards and 1 touchdown. Then he also had 82 yards and a touchdown in their win. Then we want to go to the 3 guys that I talk about on every show because they are, in my mind, I want everybody to know that Coach Buckets found these guys. They are Coach Melvie Price with Big Dog United 7-on-7. This is his guys. He is a huge part of DR7. Will be coming up to the Chicago area for the tournament. We're going to have one of our tournaments up in Crown Point, Indiana. He is the key member. He's the key reason why we're coming up there. Coach Melvie Price with Big Dog United. I speak with him on a weekly basis, and I just want to thank him for giving me exposure to his 3 guys that I'm going to talk about, and I talk about every week. I have to, because they're just amazing guys. 2029 Amari Price, quarterback out of Morton Hammond. Again, a freshman. They won this weekend 62-0. So Price wasn't in there very long. He only threw 3 passes. Okay, he only threw 3 passes, but 2 of them were touchdowns. Amari Price is going to be a top 10 national quarterback before it's all done. Then we go to Anton Mathis. Okay, Anton is a transfer into Morton. He had to sit out the first 4 games. So this was his first game with Morton due to the transfer rules. He had 4 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns in his first game in first game of the season, really, because he had to sit out those 4. Then we go to 2028. Amir Daniels, he's a wide receiver DB. He had a pick 6 for in the game for Morton. So those are my Indiana guys. Really, really proud of all those guys. And so then we go to Minnesota, 2027. Mason Hansen, he's a quarterback out of Paynesville High School. He was 22 of 34 for 380 yards and 4 touchdowns, which is the second most in his school's history. He had 2 rushing TDs and a 2-point conversion. So that's Mason Hansen, quarterback out of Paynesville. Then I go to a guy that I've known for quite a while, 2026 Peyton Myers. He's a quarterback out of Benal St. High School. Known him from Minnesota Go Get It 7-on-7, and he trains with 6'12" quarterbacks, which is a big time quarterback trainer up in Minnesota. I think a lot of the best quarterbacks go to 6'12". In 4 games for Peyton, he has 34 of 50, 68% completion rate. He had 370 yards with 4 touchdowns. The thing about Peyton is he's an absolute workout warrior. He is one of those kids that after he takes care of business in the school, in the classroom, he's always outside throwing, training with his 6'12", or just hanging out with his teammates. He's always working out, trying to get better every day. Peyton Myers. 2026 Kyler Tom, he's a quarterback out of Minneapolis Southwest High School. He only played 1 half because of a blowout. He trains with 6'12" quarterbacks as well. He was 16 of 21 for 329 yards, and he had 5 touchdowns in 1 half. Again, that was Kyler Tom out of Minneapolis Southwest. Then I have another 2026 Grant Benson out of Buffalo High School, another 6'12" quarterback. He is 6'4", 205 pounds, so good size on him. Through 4 games, he has 61. He's thrown 61 times, got 108. He's 61 and 108 for 977 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also rushed the ball for 361 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, good job, Grant. Then we go to Missouri. And we go to 2026 Caden Flood. He's a defensive end out of Nixa High School. Through 3 games, he has 21 total tackles, 11 solo, and 10 assists. And he has 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 1 point after block, and 1 forced fumble. That's Caden Flood out of Nixa. Now, Nixa is a huge Missouri team. Lots of D1 recruits, and I believe Caden Flood will. He needs to be another one. Next, we go to 2027 Chase Behringer. He's a quarterback out of Rockwood Summit. I know him and his dad. His dad runs Falcon 7-on-7, and Chase is their quarterback. Really impressed me when I saw their 7-on-7 team. Chase was amazing quarterback, and that's where I first saw him. He had 9 completions for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he added 35 rushing yards in a 42-18 win over McClure. They are 4-0. Chase, by the way, is 6'2", 190 pounds, so really good size on Chase. Again, he's definitely going to be a really good quarterback. He's 2027, so he has 2 years, and you better get in on him right now. Staying in Missouri, I want to go to 2028. Sean Deuce Johnson out of Hazelwood East. There's only 6 sophomores on that Hazelwood East team, and he's the only one that starts. So in the game, he had 5 tackles and 1 pass breakup. For the season, he has 14 tackles with 3 pass breakups. He's only allowed 1 catch all year. Again, that's Sean Johnson out of Hazelwood East. He's a 2028 DB, so get him on your list. Another 2028 is Braden Shelley out of Pembroke Hills High School. He's their quarterback. He was 14 of 25 for 231 yards and 1 passing touchdown. He had 18 rushes for 86 yards and 1 touchdown run. Now his teammate is 2027 Giles Kearns. He's at Pembroke. He's a wide receiver, DB, kicker, and he was the huddle player of the game. He had 4 catches, 104 yards, multiple defensive stops, but he also added 32-yard field goal and touchback on all of his kicks. So Giles is very, very he plays every position and he plays it well. It's not like they just throw him in there. He's one of the best kickers in the entire country. So that's all from Missouri. Then I want to take a break and go down to. That's all of my guys from the Great Plains. I want to cruise down to Florida now. The reason why I have a lot of Florida guys is because DR7 and DR Sports, we are national recruiting site. We each have our areas, but I go down to Florida and scout their talent. So a lot of these guys are guys that I found in 707 and just completely blew me away. We'll start off with 2027. Balaguer. He's a quarterback out of Sumner High School. I saw him with Team Elite All the Smoke. 707, they had a huge win, a 28-24 win over Tampa Platte High School. Tampa Platte has a quarterback that I'm going to mention next. But Antonio is absolutely wonderful, wonderful quarterback. Again, 2027. He is, when you think of Florida, you think of great quarterbacks, and he's definitely one of the best down there. For the game, he had 20 of 28 for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran the ball 8 times for 47 yards, and go Noles. Me and Antonio are big Florida State Seminoles fans. So, but really, really, really like what Balaguer shows me when I see him. Really, really good. Again, he plays for Team Elite All the Smoke out of Sumner High School in Florida. So again, they played Tampa Platte, which is quarterbacked by 2026 Dylan Rose Bailey. He trains with Braylon Trujillo and Drew Phillips. They're both quarterback trainers down there. If you train with Braylon Trujillo, you are top Florida quarterback, and so that's where Dylan goes. Versus Sumner, he had a good game. He was 6 of 12 for 225 yards, 1 passing touchdown. He ran the ball 16 times for 95 yards and a rushing touchdown. So he had a good game. That would have been a really fun game for me to go to had I been down there. Next, I want to go to absolutely one of my favorite quarterbacks in the entire country. I first saw him on TV, actually, in a tournament, quarterback in a tournament. Seen him 2 or 3 times. And then finally, when I went down to Florida at a DR7 tournament, I finally met him and like him even more now. He is a 2028 Michael Pine. He's a quarterback out of Tampa Alonzo. He's 6. I remember he's 2028, so he's 6'2", 205 pounds. He already has over 12 D1 offers. I'm going to list just a couple. He has offers from Kent State, Maryland, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, Wisconsin, Bowling Green, and Virginia Tech. And I'm hearing that Virginia Tech is the one that's standing out the most to him. Again, he's a 2028 quarterback that's 6'2", 205, and looking at Virginia Tech maybe. For the game, for the season, he has Alonzo at 4-0. He is 51 of 73 for 810 yards, 7 touchdown passes. He's carried the ball 9 times for 93 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. So, Michael Pine out of Tampa Alonzo. Next, we go to 2027 Braden Himmelwright. He's a quarterback out of Sickles High School. Know him from the McPherson camp. They invited him up, and really, really, really would love to see him come up to McPherson. Braden Himmelwright, for the season, he has 719 yards and yards passing for Sickles. So really, 2027, I'd really like to see him come up to camp this next summer up to McPherson. Next, we go to 2028. Cruz James, he's a quarterback out of Fletcher High School, which they're one of the top teams up in the Jacksonville area. For the game, he was 15 of 19 for 275 yards and 3 touchdown passes. For the season, he is 71 of 101 for 1,094 yards and 12 touchdowns. Again, he plays for Fletcher. He's their quarterback, and again, 1,094 yards and 12 touchdowns. So good job, Cruz James. Now he has a wide receiver at Fletcher that is a Tennessee State commit. He is 2026 Joshua Batman Jones. There at Fletcher, he had 9 catches for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns in their game last week. Next we go to Crew Casey. He is a 2026 linebacker out of Nice. He's a Georgia State commit. Nice is again up there around the Jacksonville area. They lost to a top 10 Florida St. Augustine. St. Augustine is a really top team up in Florida. But he still had a great night. He had 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. Again, he's a Georgia State commit out of Nice. Nice put Nice a linebacker, and they are another linebacker producing school. All their linebackers, if you start at linebacker at Nice, you are a dude. And so Crew Casey fits that mold. Next we go to 2026 Alex Malishko. He is St. Petersburg Catholic High School. For the season, he has 7 catches for 127 yards, 14 solo tackles, 17 assisted tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and a blocked field goal. Again, that's Alex Malishko out of St. Petersburg. He's a 2026, really active on defense. So go get him. Next, I want to finish off with 2026 repeat offender many times. He plays for Gain Sports out of Sarasota Christian. He is quarterback Ben Milliken. He picked up an offer from Culver Stockton over this last week. He had a great game, 27 of 41 for 322 yards with 4 touchdowns, and he also had a 2-point conversion. So that's all I got for this week. Hopefully you made the show, and if you didn't make this episode, it's only because I didn't get my stat line from you. So you got to make sure you get those before like 3 o'clock Monday. Really want to get you on the podcast so that we can get you some exposure through the platform. Okay? So thanks for joining.